question I hear time and time again from my friends, my family, you guys online and my clients in the salon is, which is better, the Dyson or the Shark? With so many air tools available and up and coming on the market at the moment, these two brands hand down are dominating the game at the moment, but with such a tight and close call, the question everyone wants to know is which is better? Now, I'm not in the mood for messing around today, so that is exactly why we're going to get straight into this video. I'm going to give you a physical side-by-side of each of the tools' results so that you can see for yourself which you prefer. I'll also be sharing with you my opinion on which one I prefer, and the overall result, user-friendly, and a big one is price point. So let's get into it.
So this version of the Airwrap is the 2022 model. I've had this obviously a few years now. You can see it's got a few wear and tear marks on it. But it's just because I loved it so much. I've used it loads on my own hair, on other people's hair, and it's a great tool overall. It's super lightweight. I can hold it at sort of any angle. I'm holding it at a 90-degree angle because I'm wanting a bit more of a bouncy blow dry sort of finish today, so I'm going for a really voluminous curl. But overall, I don't really have many negatives with Dyson. It's really easy to use and great on my hair. Now there is an even newer version of the Airwrap that's on the market as well with the ID curl technology in it, which I haven't yet used. It looks super intriguing, and the idea is that basically the Airwrap remembers your setting for your particular curls. And like I just spoke about when I was finding it hard to achieve a long-lasting curl, I feel like they've really upgraded their game with the ID curl because it's designed to you. You can adjust those settings on your phone to make it tailored to you and your hair, which I think is amazing. No one else has done that yet. It's a really cool bit of tech. And I think actually the problem that a lot of people were having with the Dyson Airwraps is that the curl just wasn't lasting, so now they feel like they've conquered and overcome that. So I'd be intrigued to see how the ID curl compares to the older version of the Airwrap too.
Something I do love with the Dyson as well that they've upgraded since their original model is this little twizzly button on top that you can just actually change the direction of airflow, so you don't have to faff around with changing heads, because these do get a bit warm as well, so you can touch them, but obviously it's not the nicest feeling to sort of get them off and find your next one before burning your fingers. So it's a really good bit of accessory that they've added onto that there, which I really do like with this model too. Another great thing with these air tools is probably how quick they are to use. I could probably do my whole hair in about 10 minutes with this as well. So if you're in a rush to get out the door or going somewhere or before work or school, it's a great alternative to, say, putting the curlers through and wasting time. So with the Shark, it has 3 different modes on it. So obviously, because for this my hair is dry as we're starting out, I'm going to pop it into dry mode. With the Dyson, that is something that is missing. It doesn't have a wet to dry mode or a dry mode. It's kind of like a one size fits all with the Dyson. So at least with the Shark, it's nice to have the option.
So I am noticing as I'm looking at the Shark, it is a little bit longer than the Dyson barrel. Now I've only got small hands, so it is feeling like a little bit of an effort to sort of turn it on and off. It's not the most hindrance to me, but it's just sort of a little bit more of a problem than the Dyson was. It's maybe not as user-friendly. Maybe if you've got longer fingers than mine, you'll be absolutely fine with it. Just that for me and my short little hands, it makes things just a little bit harder. So as I'm sort of working at my head here as well, I am finding that it's feeling a little bit more powerful than the Dyson as well. I'm feeling like because of the power of the motor, I'm getting a little bit of sort of hair that's kind of coming from other sections that are getting interpreted with the section that I'm trying to do. Just because the motor's sucking up so much hair, it's all kind of getting a little bit lost in the barrel. But I mean, it's being recurled, so it's not a big deal, so just keeping it fresh. But it's also quite a lot louder, and I think that must obviously be slightly more power on this one as well. But it is noticeably louder than the Dyson as you're using it. So obviously, like I said with the Dyson, one of the great designs that you have on that is that little switch that you're able to just switch around to the direction of the airflow. The Shark obviously has a little bit of a different design because you will have to change the rod if you were doing the whole head. So if I was jumping over to the other side, I would have to change the rod. So obviously, with that being a little bit warmer, it does make it, again, it's a little bit more of just added time onto your styling time, but
it's not a big difference. You can still do it pretty easily. It's just something that you've got to think about as you're sort of styling your hair. So now both sides are complete, I'm going to brush them through. We're going to see how they compare also to the wide tooth comb. So let's start on the Shark side. I feel like there's a lot of similarities with the overall result of the curls as well. Both are super bouncy. I love both. There's not a particular side that I do love more. I feel like because the Dyson barrel is slightly bigger than the Shark, you get a slightly bouncier result with more of a bouncy blow dry vibe to it, whereas the Shark is almost giving as if I was doing it with a curling iron. Now, to compare the two, obviously we have our physical results. Like I just said, there's not a big deal breaker in which particular side looks better than the other. They both have done a great job. I'm really pleased with both the results, but some factors that might be a bit of a deal breaker for you are just usability. So when I was using the Shark, I feel like it has definitely got more power than the Dyson. The Dyson, however, it's quieter because obviously it comes with more power, you have more noise. It doesn't massively affect the overall use and result of it, it's just probably a preference as to whether you like your tools to be a little bit quieter than the other. Another thing, this I feel is slightly longer. Although the height of them is the same overall, you can see the barrel is slightly longer on the Dyson, meaning that I can get to the buttons closer because of the position on them on the tool as well. Now, because the control panel on the Shark is right down the bottom, it's definitely a two-handed job, whereas when the Dyson is sort of set and my hair's in the barrel, I can do it with the flick of my thumb quite easily without any struggle. So it's just another factor to take into account. Like I said, I've got quite short fingers and quite small hands, so obviously something like the position of a control panel is a really big factor for me. Now, I guess that Shark have done this because when it's not in curling mode and you were using it as a hairdryer, it's actually being able to be horizontal. So the control panel probably has to be positioned down here just to make it a little bit easier like that, which the Dyson doesn't have. But overall, in terms of user-friendly, I find the Dyson a lot easier to use. Now, when these two aren't in curling mode, they can be used alternatively with their different attachments that they come with, and a lot of the attachments that they both come with are covering a lot of the same ground. I feel like Shark has more upgraded attachments to it, but that's probably because the Shark model is newer. This is from 2024, whereas this is already about 2-3 years old. So obviously the innovation that's coming out of this is going to be a lot newer and more upgraded. However, I do love the fact that when it's not in curling mode, this is a great hairdryer as well. When the Dyson isn't in curling mode and I use this as a hairdryer, I do feel like it gets the job done, but it definitely takes me a little bit longer. So if you're someone with thicker hair or coarser hair or wavy hair, maybe take that into consideration, that this isn't the best alternative to use as a sort of all-in-one tool. It's a great curler and a great styler, but certainly not to be used as a hairdryer to rely on that much, especially if you do have masses and masses of hair, because it's just not got the strength for it. It's not what it's built for, whereas the Shark, I feel, covers that perfectly. So another big factor and a deal breaker for a lot of you, I'm sure, is going to be price. Where do these sit in the market? Now, the Shark is coming in at $3,699, which I think value for money wise is fantastic, whereas the Dyson is coming in at $4,799. So obviously a bit of a jump there between the two. The newest version of the Dyson Airwrap that I mentioned earlier, the ID Curl, is actually coming in at $499 as well, so a little bit more of a jump there too. Now, I think if you were going to purchase a Dyson, for me it would be worth the extra paying for the ID Curl, because I think, like I said, it's a fantastic bit of tech and a real great innovation. So for the little bit extra, if you're going to spend that amount anyway, I'd definitely be picking the ID Curl version of the Dyson Airwrap. So I'm sure you're eager to know which one I'm going to be loving and which one I'm going to be losing. Now, picking this result is so hard because we're talking literally about a hairline difference between the two tools. Both of these are fantastic products. The one that I think, if you're working to a budget and you want that all-in-one tool with the power of a great hairdryer, then the Shark is going to be your new best friend. If you're looking to invest a little bit more in some really cool tech and try some new things out on your hair, I'd definitely be picking the Dyson ID Curl. It's down to personal preference. It really depends on what you want out of these tools and what you're going to be using them for. So with that being said, I have to say I love both of these tools. Again, it's definitely down to personal preference with these. I really hope you've enjoyed this video and it's given you a little bit more clarity on both of these brilliant tools. I hope it's also given you an answer as to which one you should be adding to your basket. Now, I will be doing some more reviews of these tools as well, so if you have any ideas of videos that you would like to see, please let me know down in the comment section below, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel and turn on your notifications for some brand new videos and content coming up soon.